My name's Billy Wells, in case I haven't made my rounds to the table to say hello. I'm the principal here at North Hall High School. And Sam told me I've got about 2 minutes to do my part, so I'm going to try to do that the best I can. But I did want to take the time to make sure that I welcome you to our school, and for a lot of you, welcome you back to school. I want to recognize a couple folks here that have that play a big part in what goes on in our school system. We have a couple of board members tonight that I'd like to make sure that I recognize. Mark Pettit. Mark, you stand and be recognized for us. Thank you. Thank you for all that you do. Deborah Smith, thank you. And our former state board member, Mr. Kevin Moore. So I've thought about tonight for a long time, and I've condensed it down to this one post. That's my start. The good news is, when I was speaking in front of large audiences when I was 30, that I could write out my whole speech, have it ready for me, and everything would go very well. Well, now that I'm over 50, if I have that written out, I can't read without reading glasses. So the beauty of tonight is, I don't have any reading glasses I have to put on. So I'm excited about that. But in terms of welcoming you here, it's already been a great evening for me. Some of you came by earlier today, came by school, and I got to sit down with you and talk about the times when you were here. And if tonight is about nothing else than recognizing you and spending time about the memories that you have built at North Hall High School, then all of this is worthwhile. And I guess that's part of my welcome, I guess is what I would say to you, is that North Hall is a very special place. I spent most of my career growing up and coaching and teaching in Gwinnett County. And my wife and I worked with a gentleman who lived in this area and convinced me that we should build our house here. And she worked in the hospital, I worked in the school system, and we made the transition to here. And I was given the opportunity about 9 years ago to come to North Hall. And I have some lessons to learn as a guy who's not from here. And Beverly Buffington is probably the person that sat me down the first time and kind of clued me in on what I needed to do. She sat me down and we had a conversation. She goes, now look, you don't have to talk to our kids like you talked to the kids before. Our kids will listen and do what you ask them to do. And she was right. So that was one lesson that I learned in being a part of this community and learning kind of what goes on. Some other pieces as an administrator calling home. I made that first one call home was discipline, and the parent answered the phone, and I told them what happened. They answered back, and they said, Mr. Wells, you do what you need to, because when they get home, it's going to be twice as bad. And so I knew that we had some similar experiences in terms of community. And it's been a really special place. I've had a daughter come through here and graduate. She graduated in 2020, and I have a 9th grade daughter here that will be in my homecoming court tonight. It's my non-green tie and my teal tie that I was instructed to make sure that I wear. But from a community standpoint, North Hall High School truly is what I would call a community school. That when people come back and they spend time, they usually will come in the lobby. And our former principal, Mr. Moore, who was here, did a great job of laying out these beautiful bookcases that are in the front lobby if you've not seen them. And every yearbook since 1958 is in there. And it is amazing to see somebody come in the front and all of a sudden they're here to pick up their grandchild, their child, and they make the right-hand turn and they start looking for their yearbook. And some of them are open and they get to talk to you about the memories that they had when they were here. And as a principal, sometimes depending on what the event is, we might end up walking the hallways together, and they talk about this hallway and where this was, and the parking lot that used to be here, where the gym is, and just some really great experiences and memories that have been shared. So, for my part, and welcome you tonight, I just wanted to remind you not that I have to remind you, but to welcome you back and remind you of the great experiences that were here. And I know many of you have had those as students, and a lot of you have had those as coaches. And just very thankful for those moments. And I know that in my time, this is such a great place, without a doubt. So thank you for that. Welcome back. And then the second thing that I wanted to talk to you tonight really comes from my heart as being a coach of 20 years. I've been an athletic director, spending that time involved in athletics and what that means for young people, both as participants and you guys that have been coaches and been involved in it for a very long time, or even for a few years, what that really means. And when I was talking to Coach Borg as he came up with this idea for the Hall of Fame, and tonight being able to see it to come to what it is, and what it has become and what it will become, that experience of looking back over the memory of participants that have been involved, that journey in itself has been so pleasing for me as a principal, because I get to have these conversations about all of these participants who were coaching, who were administrators, who were players from the past, and get to hear all of the stories that took place that made North Hall what it is today. And those of you that are being recognized tonight, it is no small feat. What you have done has set the standard for who we are today. There is no doubt about that. And whether you were a player, whether you were coaching, you have set the standard. Really, it sets us up for today, but it really has set us up for the success that we've had recently and in the past. So I'm so thankful for you for doing that. I'll tell one little anecdote. I'm probably over my 2 minutes. But I started my coaching career in the mid-'90s in Walton County at Loganville High School. And I worked for a guy, his name was Tommy Strain. And he was an old DeKalb County coach, spent a long time in Clarkston, just some really salt of the earth, great mentor. I'm 24, I think I know something about coaching. And what I got to experience helped me set my standard. And the perspective, stay with me because the perspective on this is a little bit different. I was coaching football at the time and thinking that I knew something, and found out that after the first year we went 0-10. And I'm thinking, man, maybe I don't know as much as I thought I knew. And in that conversation, what I got to learn about who you are and who you become is that the coaching staff, week in and week out, nothing ever changed. The coaches who had been working together, and I was a new guy, their relationships, while challenging with kids and with parents and with themselves, nothing ever changed. Year 2, I stay there, I hang in. We go 0-5 for the next season. So we are 0-15 to start my career. And I'm thinking, you know what? This is pretty challenging. What I witnessed, though, was the adults, and the way they treat the kids, and the way they treat each other never changed. So I learned what Coach Stringer's standard was. And that was, winning or losing, you still treat people the same. You treat them with the respect that they deserve. We went on after being 0-5 and won the next 5 games, which were predominantly region games, and made our way into the playoffs. So that story to me set my standard and set me on a trajectory of knowing what the standard is. The examples that are in this room tonight, many of you I have talked to, worked with, learned your story. That's the standard of North Hall High School in this community. And our participants, I hope you stay around for a few minutes of tonight's game at least to see the standard that they have. They know what the standard is, and they work really hard to meet it or exceed it. And the stories, the presentations that you guys share tonight, I look forward to hearing from you and less from me. So I'm excited to hear that. I will say one thing real quick. Coach Ward, Dina Carlton, the folks that are part of their team that helped put this together tonight, they have done an amazing job. And I want to take the time to give this one. So with that said, thank you. I appreciate you being here, and I really look forward to hearing all of the stories from our honorees tonight. Congratulations, Coach Ford.
Thank you, Mr. Wells. That was 2 minutes. All right, good evening and go Trojans. My name is Sam Borg, and I'm the athletic director here now. Does anyone know anybody in the room tonight? Look around. It is a North Hall night, isn't it? Go Trojans. It's an amazing night. Yes, we're coming out the cross. Awesome. One everyone to definitely see, you probably saw on your way in, this beautiful Hall of Fame wall that's new to our gym, and all 12 of tonight's legends are up there forever with beautiful plaques. And we're already getting compliments from our teachers, from our current students today. After our parade, after our pep rally, people were saying, wow, who is that? Who is Corey Holsey? Who is Nick Long? Who is Courtney Dwyer? Really, it's awesome that the students of today can talk about some of the legends of yesterday. We're thrilled to host everyone this evening. Very special moment, obviously, as we honor these 12 legends from North Hall Athletics. Before we honor them, I wanted to thank a few people also. I wanted to thank Principal Billy Wells, who you just met, also former North Hall Principal Jamie Moore is here tonight. North Hall Administrators Kenny Childs and Kimberly Boyd. Just want to thank you all for what you do every day. That's our admin team, and just really thankful for their commitment to this place. They know the standard, as Mr. Wells spoke of, that you all have set for us, and we carry the weight of that. We know what you all have done for this place, and that means something to us. We want to do a great job every day leading North Hall because you set a standard that's very high for us to try to match. So we appreciate the example you set for us as leaders as we serve an awesome North Hall student body and an awesome North Hall community. Also, Mr. Wells stole it, but thank you, Mr. Mark Pettit and Ms. Deborah Smith, for being here. The school board is very supportive of us, and you can be doing a lot of different things on a Friday night. So being here with us means a lot as well. Also, a special recognition, I had to give a shout out to Ms. Dina Carlton, who's been, you might not know Dina yet, but she's been instrumental in our athletic office as she and I work side by side to make tonight's stream come true. So a round of applause for Ms. Dina Carlton. Say it up, give us a minute. That's Dina Carlton. Now you know Dina Carlton. Now, on to our ceremony. I know that as we honor each Trojan tonight and recognize their individual accomplishments, I hope that just 2 minutes at a time, you're going to get a picture of what these 12 people have meant to North Hall. You'll see why they're truly elite, as they represent 65 years of North Hall school history. So 65 years of athletics, very difficult for a committee that I'm very thankful for, that took nominations, went through those nominations and made impossible decisions to try to figure out who's going to make this Hall of Fame. On that note, I'd like to ask a favor. On the back of tonight's program, you have 2 opportunities to help us out. One is to nominate. We know that there are people that need to be in this Hall of Fame. Isn't that right? And so that first, it's a QR code. What that means is you take a picture of it with your phone. All right, so that's going to take you to a link to nominate some folks that you know belong on that wall. The people that you know should be in this Hall of Fame. Please nominate. This will continue every other year. So there's going to be a Hall of Fame class of 2025. We'll be right back here nominating some very deserving candidates. And then the other QR code at the bottom is just an alumni group. We're not going to mail you and ask you for money like I do. I know my college mailed me all the time. But that's so that we can just update you with what's going on campus. So Ms. Carlton and I send a once a semester emails. All it is one email you're going to get that kind of tells you what's going on at North Hall, and it keeps us a little bit more together and unified as North Hall passed. All right, as a North Hall graduate myself, I want you to know how special tonight is to me personally. I played basketball in this gym. My coach is sitting right over here. It's a very special place to me. I ran cross country and track here, and I know a ton of people in this room. It's really, really special. I played with some of you, practiced with some of you, and it's just really special to me. And I want you to know that North Hall Athletics of today, as our athletic director currently, must celebrate and honor the foundation and tradition of our past. And it really means something. Our past really means something to us. Tonight we'll move too quickly, and just in life, the clock won't slow down. It's already 6 o'clock. They want us on the field at 7:05. Okay, but my hope and my prayer is that by the end of the evening, you will feel truly honored. I hope that you will feel truly loved. I hope that you will laugh, maybe cry, cherish your memories at this school, and that tonight will bring North Hall Trojan Nation, past and present, even closer together. Our history matters, and we invite you all to support the North Hall athlete of today and the North Hall athlete of tomorrow. All right, let's roll. So for procedure, what we'd like to do is we're going to honor you by name and clap for you and celebrate you as you come forward and receive a plaque from Mr. Kenny Childs. And when you get your plaque, so we have a plaque on the wall for us to always have here at school. You're also receiving a plaque to take home as a gift from North High School to you. So Mr. Childs will hand you the plaque, and then you'll stand in the middle right here with your plaque. We have a videography and a photographer ready to give you great pictures, another photographer ready to give you great pictures after this evening is over, and then the microphone will be yours for your 2 minutes. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And one thing I want to mention, I hope I have this permission to say this, but I'm going to go ahead and take that liberty. I've been in very close contact with all 12 of these legends. I mean, we've been texting, we've been calling, we've been mailing, we've been organizing. And 11 of our 12 inductees have one thing in common. They all want to know if Coach Harold Daniels will be able to give a 2-minute speech. And we'll see how that goes. We'll see. He started his speech about 45 minutes ago. So. All right, very excited. Let's get this thing rolling. We're going to start tonight with, please, round of applause as you come and receive your plaque from Mr. Childs, Mr. Michael Carew. Michael was a 2014 state runner-up, 2015 and 2016 state champion wrestling, 2016 FCA Wrestler of the Year, undefeated senior year of 52-0. And I had some wrestlers today in the hallway say, this guy went 52-0 senior year. He's still inspiring junior Trojans. His impact on the influence on our junior Trojan wrestling program has been phenomenal. He still cares about North Hall today and wants us to win state today. In college, he was a 2-time academic All-American, a 3-time conference champ, a 2-time All-American, and 2020 Champion of Character Award. An amazing resume, and obviously kind of the start of a lot of state champion wrestlers that we've had from him to now, including a couple of team state titles. So again, Michael Carew, the microphone is yours.
Got some notes here for me. I want to start off by saying how much of an honor it is to be up here with these staples of the community. There really, truly are legends in this class. It's an honor. Also, thank you, North Hall, for doing this as well. This is really amazing, and I'm super grateful for being a part of the first class in this. And in particular, Coach White, you planted seeds in the community. Those seeds turned into men that helped me grow into the man I am today. But I also have a lot of people to thank as well. So, and a lot of them are here today. Matt and Tracy Whitmire, Pat and Lisa Holcomb, all my coaches, Jay Hargis, Coach Cunningham, Coach Nichols, and Coach Holcomb, and all of my countless training partners that helped me get to where I am today. Also, Mom and Dad for all the time and money that you spent into my career. And then lastly, my wife, she was also my high school sweetheart from North Hall. Thank you. And lastly, with this being a fundraising event, I feel it's appropriate to talk about fundraising. I am now like the head coach of the North Hall Youth Program. And, I'm trying to plant seeds just like Coach White. And if you're willing to donate to the North Hall Wrestling Club, that would be amazing. If you want to donate, come see me. But thank you, North Hall. Go Trojans.
Our next inductee is Coach Bob Christmas. Yes, sir. Coach Christmas has 304 career victories as a varsity football coach. He won 103 games with North Hall from 2001 to 2013. He won region championships 4 times, went to the state playoffs 9 times in football here at North Hall High School. Went to the quarterfinals in 04, 07, and 2012, and he took us to the Final Four. 2007 and 2012. He was Region Coach of the Year in 04, 06, 07, and 2012. Also, these bios that are on these walls don't obviously tell the full story, do they? of the influence that you all have on this place. He had a tremendous impact on our athletic culture when Coach Christmas got here, and he also did facilities upgrades of the brickyard and the field house, and all the things that he brought to North Hall are really leaving speechless. So just very proud of him, and that's Coach Bob Christmas.
What an honor. And you guys have put this together. This is phenomenal. And, it's been so neat seeing so many of you here. I just retired from coaching. Last season was my last season. 48 years of coaching football, 45 years as a head high school coach. And I retired from doing something that I absolutely love every minute of it. And so I'm one of the really fortunate ones. My wife, Peggy, has been a coach's wife for 48 years. And that's a tough, tough job. And I just appreciate her support all these years. And, but my 13 years as a head coach at North Hall High School is definitely the highlight of my 48 years of coaching. And not only for me, but for my family also. This has been our highlight. Peggy and I will always consider North Hall our home. And you as our family. We couldn't have raised our children in a better place than this community right here. You know, we raised our children together. Many of us went to church together. We're in the brickyard together on Friday nights. And and we were together. You know, when I came in, my vision was to make North Hall High School the town square. And, you know, Harold and I shared the same vision, and Gary. And that Friday night could be the event that everyone wanted to go to. And it became that. And I just want to thank you for letting me be a part of it. And I mean that. And I'm honored to be chosen on this inaugural North Hall High School Hall of Fame with some really impressive people. And I'm humbled. And I want to be very clear that our success in football was a total team effort. Gary Brown, our principal later, Joe Geachman, Harold Daniels, pivotal in all of this. And then I had the best assistant coaches that any coach would ever have. When I interviewed coaches, and I got one of them sitting right here, Bucky Kennedy, one of my first coaches. And when I interviewed coaches, we never once talked X's and O's, not one time. I wanted to discern from being around them what kind of men they were, what kind of character they would have, how they would be with our young men, what kind of role model would they be. And but we had everybody, from the principal all the way down to our unbelievable players. Everybody was pulling in the same direction. And we set a high standard. In fact, we had two tenets of our standard, basically. One was individual agendas are set aside for the good of the team. No I in team, right? And then the other one is everything would be earned, nothing given. Earned and not given. And that's what we based our entire program on. Our alignment was unified from the principal right on down into the community. And everybody, like I said, pulled in the same direction. I personally had unwavering support from Harold Daniels, Joe Geachman, Gary Brown, the entire administration. We all had the same vision. I also, just to say again, I had the hardest working assistant coaches that a head coach would ever have. Never checking your watch when we work all weekend to get ready to see what time it was. They were tremendous role models. You never would hear a cuss word out of one of our assistant coaches. Everything we did, we wanted to be the right role model for the kids. And we worked them pretty hard. And they knew in their hearts that we cared for them, that we were on their side. And we didn't have many D1 players come out of here. But we had the best young men in the world. They became winners And we had a culture of winning. Every time we stepped on the field, our kids believed they were going to win. I'll never forget playing Peach County out here and seeing those thoroughbreds out there. And I'm wondering if we were going to get blown off the field. And our kids never wavered. And Ed Clemson was over on their sideline. Marcus Robinson, who signed with Florida, played in the NFL. And here's Andrew Smith covering at about 5'6". But our kids never wavered because they had the confidence that they believed we were going to win. In 2 plays, they had scored. No wavering our kids. We beat them 53-10 that night. And but I hear from our players all the time, and I want to close with a little reminiscence here in just a minute. I hear either about our players or I hear from our players. I'm sitting here just now, and I get a text from Andrew Smith. Congratulations, Coach. But I hear about what our players are doing with their lives. My heart just swells with pride to see what these young men have become. And because our goal was to be mentors. And I had the privilege of doing that for 13 years here at North High School. Real quick, I want to close, just reminisce a little bit. I'll never forget getting on the bus and driving to City Park. We get about a half mile from City Park, and the streets are just lined with football. I could not believe it. And then we got into the stadium. And the stadium, just an hour and a half before kickoff, is packed out. That's the kind of support that we had for us in this community. 41 to 42-21. Out of 42-7. They scored a couple of late ones. In fact, 04, 06, and 07, we were region champions, big game for 2 of them. Lost on the last play of the game, on the up 6. The quarterfinal game against Perry. I'll never forget it. It comes down to a field goal for about 35 yards. I know right the spot it was on out there. We called timeout a couple times to try to raise them. In the meantime, everyone, it was on this end. Student body sitting on this end, the entire student body comes down on this end and is cheering. I mean, you couldn't even hear yourself think. It was phenomenal support. They missed the field goal. Beating Flowery Branch, 7 out of 9 years. That was in their glory years also. And then playing in the Georgia Dome. And the thing that impressed me the most about playing in the semifinal in the Georgia game, again, we had more fans there than any other team at the Georgia Dome that year. North Hall had the most. And I could talk a lot about this, but I know I'm over, so I'm going to stop. But the Sandy Creek playoff game, we had no right then. Couldn't tell our kids that. And listen, thank you for letting me be a part of this. I just, again, my heart is full. Just thank you for letting me be a part of your lives. God bless you.
Coach Christmas. Awesome. All right, our next honoree, let's all celebrate together, Mr. Harold Daniels. Yes, sir, Coach Daniels. North Hall teacher coach from 88 to 95, coached baseball, football, and basketball. 93 to 95, he's our head baseball coach and athletic director, as many of us know him from 2000 to 2013, where he hired many North Hall coaching greats. He was also instrumental in so many campus projects. When you think about the Brickyard, the new field house, the baseball facility, the softball facility that we still enjoy today in 2023, all goes to Harold Daniels and for what he did for North Hall. He was the athletic director of the year in 2013. And again, you can't put in a simple bio what this man means. He still drives buses for us. He was driving the homecoming parade. What group were you doing? He was driving Riverbend Elementary's final homecoming parade float as they are going to become a new elementary school next year. But amazing impact, and he's still here with us. Harold Daniels.
Coach Wilson took that work from my back. And we talked yesterday on the sideline. And first off, I just want to say congratulations to everybody in the Hall of Fame this year, the other 11. Y'all are some great folks. I couldn't ask for better. They couldn't ask for a better class to do this because these people made a mark on this school. And I'm just honored and so humble and grateful that I was chosen. I'm not really sure why, but here I stand, and there's things and people I need to thank. And my two sisters are here with me tonight. Today is our dad's birthday. That was kind of special that I would do this on his birthday. Deborah and she was a dear friend of mine. I started out in administration with Deborah Smith. She's like my sister. I love her dearly. And of course, my wife, Susan, she also coached with me. And he said 40 years as a coach wife. She's 35 years now. I mean, she got a earful of it a lot of times. She had to take on a lot of stuff when I got home in frustrations over coaching and administrating. So, you know, it's just probably why she's probably got a heart condition or something now. But that's a great thing about this place. But you're talking about a special community. This is not like any other community. Lydia always said people were left here, they went off to college, and they all came back. They all came back. That's why she loved this place. And I got to looking around, and I came here in '88. I hadn't left yet either. I mean, it's a wonderful place to raise your children. I told Bob the same thing. I told him when I was interviewing. I said, you need to go home, get Miss Peggy, and bring her up here to North Hall High School, bring your children up here. It's a great community. He looked at me and said, I think I will. I said, And the rest is history. You see what he did. I can remember that period night out there about that field goal over there. I can tell you where I was standing. And I was over there losing my belt, my heart had dropped in my drawers. I was about to pass out. But overall, let me tell you something about this community. They embraced us when we came in. I came in as AD in 2000. Bob came in 2001, the next year. And we sat down and talked, and I mean, it was like, God, we all on the same page. It was all the same stuff. You know, we both even believed in Jesus. You know, I mean, it was like, we want to get something done. So we hired a couple kids. They get going and stuff. So, I mean, it was all so similar to what we were doing. And when we laid out our vision, we needed to change our culture. We needed to change our culture. And it got to the point where we were sick of losing. We were sick of losing. It's the same thing that goes on with some of these other coaches. Trent Montero sitting right there. We needed a baseball coach. We were tired of losing. I hired that great man right there because I can tell you right there, you see what he did to the baseball program. You know, you got to talk about good people, good character people. And good character people help you raise good character children. And you got to keep doing that. We got to stand up for some things that y'all know is not right going on out there in our society now. And we got to start doing a little bit better. You know, Sonia's sitting there right now working for the FCA. I keep up with her. How important is FCA, Sonia? It's very important. That needs to continue. I can just go on and on and on what you need to do, but I can tell you this community is one of the best communities you will ever come to that you will never want to leave. And I am so grateful to be inducted into the first class of the Hall of Fame of this place. I am just ecstatic to have it. And I am so glad that all y'all can come and share that with us. And I hope you continue to show up because we love Norfolk. We love Norfolk. Thank you for having us. Thank you for taking care of us. I'm so grateful.
Excellent. Hailed in. Did a great job with the speech. Perfect. Next inductee, very special. As soon as we started saying Athletic Hall of Fame, this name kept coming up, and that's Mr. Jody Davis. Congratulations, sir. Jody Davis, after being a three-sport athlete, big man on campus here at North Hall High School, went on and ended up being a catcher for the Chicago Cubs from 81 to 88, where he was National League All-Star in 84 and 86. National League Gold Glove winner in 1986. Caught for our home team, Atlanta Braves, from 88 to 1990. I love this one. 1986, he has the Major League Baseball record for runners caught stealing with 89. And if you're a catcher, that's a record that you want to have, is catching those people at second base. Jody Davis played in over 1,000 Major League Baseball games, 3,500 at bats in the big leagues, over 120 home runs and 490 RBIs. An incredible career as a player, and went on and continued to manage professionally at baseball. Just really an honor to have him here, Mr. Jody Davis.
First of all, thank you, North Hall. What an honor. It's great to be back here with all you guys. And, I really just want to try to get us back on program here after following Harold. I have honestly thought about letting Lydia do my speech, but God, we couldn't have them back to back. I just want to talk about the path a little bit. It starts with the big man upstairs. Got to thank the Lord for my path. Being a kid from North Hall, went to North Hall, I was from Oakwood, right? He started by bringing me from Oakwood up here to be here, and thank goodness. But then he put me in a competitive family. My mom and dad were real competitive. My dad started the Lanier Land tournament, obviously, but I can still hear Mom in the kitchen saying, we should have a Christmas tournament. So I'm going to give my mom a lot of that credit, although my dad gets all the credit for it. Then that path, he gave me my greatest coach, the man that, taught me everything. And that's my older brother. He not only gave me the greatest coach, but he put him in the house with me too. So, and my brother Jerry, I think he meant a lot to all of us up here in this community. I tell all my buddies over here that if we hadn't been so good, Jerry may have been here 30 years, but, we were pretty good, so he ended up going to Gainesville, so, you can't blame him for that. But I owe it all to my brother. I couldn't have done it without him. I think he touched a lot of our lives here. I know this bunch, my son Josh got to play for him. All these guys right here, you asked them about my brother, and he meant a lot to all of us, especially me. And getting back to that Lanier Land tournament, my teammates, we're still pretty proud of that 74 banner hanging right up there. I'm just going to tell you, Lanier Land tournament champions. My dad started the tournament. All of us were thrilled to win that, being underdogs all the way. And congratulations to all the other inductees, man. What an honor for me to come back. This is where it all started. And I got to thank the big man for bringing me to North Hall. And the teammates, my teammates were really competitive, and they pushed me back in. And who at that time had any idea where the journey would lead to the Major League Baseball? I never had an inkling of an idea that I was going to go play baseball. Just out here competing every day. So thank God I got to do it here at North Hall, and I'm going to close now. And I got to thank my teachers at North Hall before I leave, because all you teachers, you passed me. I think you passed me just to get me out of here. So thanks a lot.
Awesome. Jody Davis. What a moment. What a moment. All right, our next inductee is Miss Courtney Dwyer. Courtney, in basketball, was the all-time school scoring record holder of over 1,400 points when she graduated from North Hall High School. Also, three-time rebounding and free throw percentage team leader. We retired her jersey number 13. What is amazing to me about Courtney is just the athlete that could do that in basketball, but also went out there on the track and placed in the state in the high jump and placed in the state in the shot put with a school record shot put of 35 foot 2 inches. When today's North Hall athletes go up on that wall, they're going to say, how did you win shot put and high jump? And how did you score all those points? She's also in UNG's Women's Basketball Hall of Fame up there in Dahlonega, where she averaged 23.4 points per game, which is UNG's career scoring record up there. She also ran a little bit of cross country, where she led for 3 years our girls cross country team to top 6 places in the state meet. So basketball, track, cross country, and a college basketball player. Incredible resume. Miss Courtney Dwyer.
Congratulations to all of you here today for also being recognized. I'm truly standing in a room full of greatness. I'm here today with gratitude and humility for this incredible honor of being inducted into the North Hall Athletics Hall of Fame. I'd like to express my appreciation and share what this moment means to me. I want to acknowledge that I did not achieve this award on my own. It definitely follows the old saying, it takes a village. In that village, I had the support of my family, my parents, John and Denise, my grandparents, Bob and Peggy. In that village, I also had the competitive spirit of my brother and sisters, Chris, Brooklyn, Chelsea. Also in that village, I had the guidance of my coaches, Coach Foster, Coach Howington, Coach Rogers, Coach Shooter, and many more. In that village, I had the encouragement of my teammates. There are really too many to name, but they all hold a special place in my heart, and we're still friends today. To all of you, I say thank you for believing in me and being a part of my unforgettable journey. When I think of my sports career, I'm reminded of the countless challenges and obstacles that I faced. I wasn't the best academically, but I managed. I goofed around yet respected the game. I got injured, but worked really hard to recover. I failed more times than I can count, but took ownership of those failures. But it was those experiences that made me an athlete and the person I am today. They taught me resilience, determination, and the importance of never giving up, even in the face of adversity. Sports have been such an important part of my life, and now that I'm a teacher and a mother, I try hard to encourage my students and my own children alike to get involved because really sports saved my life. Participating in track, basketball, and cross country taught me just really how to be a good person. I hope to inspire those around me so they can see that with hard work, dedication, and perseverance, they can achieve their dreams too. In closing, I want to dedicate this moment to all the individuals who have touched my life and helped me reach this accomplishment. So to my village, my family, my coaches, my teammates, it is an honor. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for this incredible recognition. I am deeply honored to be a part of the North Hall Athletics Hall of Fame. Thank you.
Awesome. Courtney Dwyer. Great job. All right, our next inductee is Coach Gene Foster. Coach Foster has 487 wins in girls basketball. She took us to the Final Four in 1991, won region championships in 90 and 91. She has 6 Lanier Land championships, talking about Jody's, that Lanier Land tournament, 6 Lanier Land titles. In her playing career here at North Hall, she was a 4-year varsity player. She was on the first North Hall girls basketball team to make it to the state playoffs under Coach Marie Faulkner. She also was the 1982 Lanier Land tournament MVP. And I won't mention who was born in 1982, but it's a familiar year to me. She also was, and we joke about this, she also, it's a typo. Was it 70s? Well, shoot. She won in 1972. All right. Also in 2006, she was the coach, and we joke about this sometimes. She coached basketball for so long, won 487 games, and then one year decided to coach cross country. And her and Nick won a state championship, and Coach Thomas won a state championship in cross country in 2006. An incredible team that we'll talk about in a moment. So that's her, Coach Jean Foster.
All right, I have my glasses and I wrote everything down. Well, I'm really about to tell my age because I was at North Hall. I've been at North Hall for over half my life. I was 4 years in high school and 34 years teaching and coaching. 4 years of my high school, I was so fortunate to have played under two great ladies and mentors, Coach Marie Faulkner and Coach Betty Childs. They were both instrumental in my getting the head coaching job in the 1980s. Marie passed away this past year, and she will always have a place in my heart. My favorite memories of high school are I was on the first girls team to go to state tournament in Macon. We got to go spend the whole week. We had ourselves a ball. We got up every morning, we went and watched basketball, and it was just great. We won 3 Lanier Lands in a row, and we retired the ball that year. I was MVP in 1972, and what I really remember about that was Tommy West was the men's thing, and he was so good looking. That's all I remember about it. But yes, we played half court, and then we did the dreaded rover, and we shot threes when they only counted as twos. And as I've gotten older, wins and losses have kind of faded away. I kind of make a joke about it that I really don't remember. I remember certain games and the exciting ones. But the most thing I remember is playing and the important relationships that I have made through my coaching career. I would be remiss if I didn't mention my assistant coaches. Sherry Bentley, we have been teammates, roommates, classmates. We just experienced our 50th reunion of the North Hall class reunion of 50 years. She was my assistant coach for my first 10 years of coaching. And we were best friends, and we're still best friends today, so we made it through. And we thought she was going to have her first child on the bench because she waited up to the last minute. She was still coaching when she had Brittany. Marlena Nix. Marlena was a player. She was a coach. What I remember about Marlena is being so scrappy. I remember being in 3 overtimes in Habersham County Gym, and it was when Madison County was so great, and we were playing in overtime. We had 3 overtimes. We ended up losing, but we won't talk about that. Sheila Fussell, she always had a lot of patience, which I did not have. Louis Shirley, who was a great man and a great coach, still is today, and his son is coaching at Chesapeake. Kathy Hall, she's here tonight, and her son Ryan is being honored. And it was such an honor to have her as an assistant. Chrissy House. Chrissy, enough can't be said about Chrissy. She was on the Final Four team, and she ended up coaching the Final Four team here. How neat is that? To be on the Final Four team and to coach the Final Four. Back when the cheerleaders used to make scrapbooks for us, I got down in my basement and I pulled all those out, and just the pictures, you know, her diving across the floor. When she was first going out for basketball, she played basketball, she played defense like a stick. I told some of the coaches, I said, I don't know if she's going to make it or not. Well, she ended up being our MVP, and of course, you know the rest of it. She went on to coach North Hall. So, and also tonight, Julie Banks, Stacy Dover, Stacy Kennedy, I still call her Stacy Dover. They were on some of the great teams. Tracy Carlson's here. Just so many, and it's just so exciting just to see them and know what's going on in their lives. I had a scorekeeper, Lydia Park. We're still friends even after all those years. I knew at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning when we lost the ball game, I knew I could call her up, cry or say, what did we do wrong? What do you think we were to do? You know, I knew I had a friend in Lydia, and I still do today. Lisa Watkins, Lisa Brewer, she played for us. I don't think Lisa's here tonight, but she was a great player too. Just ask her about horse liniment sometimes. She turned her ankle before the Midland tournament, and we were trying to get her ready in 2 weeks so we were looking all over the county for horse liniment to put on her ankle. I want to thank all of them for their time, their sacrifice, for putting up with me, because that was a big chore. I coached everything there was to coach when I started in 1977. I coached softball. I apologize to those kids because I knew nothing about softball. I was 22 years old, and all I ever played was basketball. Dana Langford, I coached tennis. Dana Langford was the first girl to go on to the state tournament in tennis that year. Dana also played basketball. A game that I really remember when we won region, we were at Wanderbear, we were playing, and it got down to like 2 minutes. We were down by 12 points. All the North Hall people got in their cars and left. There was 2 minutes to go. They thought we'd lost the game. And Karen Curtis ended up hitting 13 free throws in a row, and we ended up winning, and we had to call everybody from North Hall and tell them that we won. So that was pretty good. I also coached under Ken Adams when I first started, and Ken gave me a lot of varsity experience because he would get thrown out of games. He'd throw his coat or do something, so his nickname for me was Hoagie, and he said, "Hoagie, you got him now." I said, "Oh, gee, thanks." I was fortunate to coach great people, many who have gone on to teach, coach, become principals, become leaders in this community. Many whose children are playing today, and many of them are here tonight. I could not begin to name them all, and it is my prayer that I at least made a positive influence in their lives. My niece Stephanie is here tonight. She played for me, and she's still part of my family. After basketball, I was blessed to have coached the men's cross-country team, who went on to win the state 2006 state championship. What a great bunch of men. Oh gosh, it was such an honor. You talk about dedicated, hardworking. Big Long's here tonight with his family. Families were so supportive, and it was just an honor. Jane Harrison was one of the coaches. Coach Thomas and I, we hung in there. We weren't. We always joked about it. We weren't the runners, but we watched the run. I would like to say thank you to my husband. He knew what he was getting into when he got there, though. So anyway, we made it through. Thanks to all who worked to make this night possible. I thank God for giving me a career in coaching, and for friends and family who have made this night possible. Relationships that's lasted a lifetime. That's what I've gotten from these 34 years. Thank you so much.
Coach Dean Foster, beautiful, beautiful. Love it. All right, our next inductee tonight, very excited to introduce to you Mr. Brian Hall. Brian Hall, an incredible athlete. I want to talk about him. In basketball, 1995 was the first boys basketball jersey year to be retired with that number 12. He at the time was our career scoring leader with over 1,400 points, and went on with a scholarship for basketball at Presbyterian College. It went beyond basketball. In football, he accounted for, in 1994, 1,500 yards combined rushing and receiving. Also in soccer, you don't hear that very often, basketball, football, and soccer. He had most career goals scored here at North Hall and played in the GHSA North All-Star Game as a soccer player. And in track, he broke the school record in the 100 meter. He broke the school record in the 200 meter, and he broke the long jump record which his long jump school record of 22 feet still stands today in 2023 as the school record. Mr. Brian Hall.
You know, it's always funny how God will use how you were brought up in the community to shape your future. And as a teenager, being here at North Hall High School, I quickly learned the impact the coaches have. And so I went on after I graduated high school and I made a deal with God. I said, God, I'll coach if you just don't make me go to the south end of the county. So needless to say, my first teaching job was at Flowery Branch. I was part of the group that got pounded by Coach Christmas every year and got really frustrated. However, being in South Hall, God opened another door for me to now pastor a local church in the South Hall community. Kids that I coached, kids that I was in class with, are now dedicating their children. And so God's got a sense of humor. However, I stand before you today and I will tell you that this place will always be home. And I look around the room and I think of the coaches that impacted my life. And I think about a Coach Williams, and I think about a Jim Lofton, and a Don Golden, and a Coach Howington. The list goes on, and I can think about Mean Jean and how much she would straighten me out in her PE class, never make me dress out or anything. But I say all that to say that this place is very special. And I often say, my kid right now is over at Cherokee Bluff playing chess team. God has a sense of humor. I now have to wear purple. This is absolutely ridiculous, but it is what it is. But I say from our stage at the church all the time that I still bleed green, and I really mean that. But I've got something that I want to read, and this will be my closing. And I didn't usually I'll start out by saying, open your Bible and turn to page so we don't do that. But a couple of years ago, I had an opportunity to come back up here to watch. I believe it was the night that the girls went to the Final Four. I think I came to watch Chris McCall's daughter, who I played basketball with Chris in high school. I brought all my kids up here, and we sat right over here in the top left-hand corner. And I left that night, honestly realizing the impact that this place had on me. And I can remember I went home and I couldn't sleep that night. My kids all the way home were going, "Yeah, we want to transfer to North Hall." And I said, "Well, you're going to take that up with God. Because we live on the South End now, so it is what it is." But I wrote something, and I posted this on Facebook. And I just want to read what I wrote, and I think this will sum up just about what tonight is about for so many of us. But I started, and I said, I've been away from the green and white for some time now. A girls' basketball game brought me back here, and I couldn't help but go back 25 years. No, we didn't always win. We weren't the go-to school. But being there reminded me why this place will always be so special. I ran into teachers. I ran into coaches. I ran into the Kenny Newton, teammates and friends that played such a huge role in my life. Yes, there were times I would get anything to win a state championship, but that wasn't the case. Looking back, not winning at all taught me more than any wins could have ever done. It taught all of us how to stick it out in the hard times. Stay together when it's tough. And yes, celebrate when the victories come. North Hall was my safe place. It's where I did life with the people I loved and who loved me, most of them. I left an old country school on Mount Vernon Road that night, celebrating a win, and most importantly, thanking God for the place that had left a lifelong impression on me. Go Victory.
Mr. Brian Hall, beautiful. All right, our next inductee we'd like to present is Mr. Corey Holsey. Corey Holsey was the man on this campus as the offensive lineman, and you know it's hard. Offensive linemen in high school don't have a whole lot of stats on Google to go find. But he's 6 foot something. How tall are you over there, Mr. Holsey? He's 6'7", 300. Some website out there has you at 6'7", 300 pounds, and a 405-pound bench press and a 600-pound squat, and I believe that looks like. This man went on to play for 3 years at the University of Clemson, played for the Buffalo Bills in the NFL, also for the Oakland Raiders from 2003 to 2006. Played in 40 NFL games as an offensive lineman. He was a blue chip illustrated All-American for football at North Hall High School football. He also won a state championship in the shot put. Another multi-sport athlete out of North Hall, an amazing resume. Our students today were saying, who's that guy with the Oakland Raiders jersey on? So, impact here and backloaded in our community, Mr. Corey Olson.
Everybody said tonight what an honor it is to be able to stand up here and see a lot of familiar faces that I haven't seen in a long time. And I'm not to be nervous and get emotional, which I usually do. But it's great to be back here. First off, God gave me everything that I have, and I want to thank Him for everything that He blessed me with and how He blessed me and able to be in this group of my peers and friends, coaches, teachers that got me to where I am today. I want to mention a few names tonight, but I'm going to miss somebody, so I'm not going to start trying to name drop everybody, but y'all know how that is. First and foremost, my mom and dad couldn't be here tonight. They passed on years ago, but my mom instilled in me to never quit, never give up, keep going. And there's nothing you can't accomplish if you put your mind to it. And those words have stayed with me for college, high school, college, and moving on that order, and then the NFL. My daughter got my notes here out of order here. Right. But so coming from a background of working hard, and that's they instilled that back in the day. Another person was close to me. We didn't have creatine and protein shakes when we were in the fall. But we did have a lady that every Friday morning that always got the offensive line ready for the game, offensive and defensive line. That was my mom. She made us have biscuits, beef gravy with WLPA, and our opponent didn't have a chance. After that meal, I was pleasantly surprised to see this man here tonight. Made a huge part of who I am today. And I was so glad to see him. And I didn't write this down, Brownie. I ain't going to tell you how he got his name Brownie. But Joel Pettit and Russell Burke were strength coaches in 1992. It's when I met him, his wife, and one of my good friends to this day, his son Nate. But we didn't get to sit around on the couch doing box jumps, throwing hay. Brownie, it was we got it done in the summertime. And it's those sacrifices that we made then that's what's put all of us in this room today to be able to do what we can do. And for Joel, and to Coach Pettit and Russell Burke, Russell would come over from Burt's Pumpkin Farm. I'm sure all y'all know where that is. And work us like dogs. Coming into my freshman year in North Hall, I thought I was going to be a football player, but Brian mentioned the guy a while ago who had a lot of credit with me is Coach Lawton. And I thought we were going to be football, but I wound up with me cross country stars. The first thing you had to do was run a 12-minute mile and a half. So Matt, Damon, you're going to know this name. Me and a guy named Beads, we call him Beads. Most guys would pass on the first time. It took us a week. You didn't practice. You weren't part of the team until you completed that mile and a half. So we started out on the track, then it went in the grass, and then it went, he put 4 cones around the inside of the end zone. So Michael and I, we made it, but he took that every year. But why it was just one of those things, I didn't appreciate it then. But today, I appreciate the things that they made us do. High school, these next guys I mentioned, you might say I have a little bit of a weight problem. Best thing I ever did for my career was wrestling. And I've heard his name mentioned a lot here tonight. He's a legend. Coach White, Steve King, introduced me to wrestling. They got me my first wearable trash bag, mat drill, spin drill. Damon, I don't know how many gallons of sweat me and you sweated on each other, but spin drills and mat drills be rolled up. But the funny thing about it was, just playing football, I was a slim 320. But unfortunately for me, the year that I decided to wrestle, they did away with super heavyweight division, so I had to slim down to 275. I haven't seen my collarbone since. But wrestling taught me, stamina, balance, everything, hard work, never quit. Those things pushed me to the limits. So I'm still leaving my daughter. But thank you so much. I'm so honored tonight. I could stand up here and talk, but just what an honor it is for me to be able to be here in this group of folks, coaches, teachers, friends. But thank you again, go Trojans.
Mr. Corey Polson, also. Mr. Charles and I were out actually one screen with that last picture. All right, our next legend here we'd like to introduce to you is Mr. Nick Long. Nick Long graduated here with, at the time, school records in track in the 3200, the 1600, 800, and the 400 meter. He's still the school record holder in 800 meter at 155. Nobody's been able to beat it. And in the 400 at 50.4. He led this team, we've mentioned, the 2006 boys cross country team to the state championship. He's a 4-time individual state champion in track and field in the 3200, 16, and 18. He was the Eagle Times Track Athlete of the Year in 2007, and he went on to a full scholarship to run cross country and track at the University of Georgia. Go Dogs! Very impressive athlete that again has inspired decades of distance runners that continue to be successful here at North Hall. Mr. Nick Long.
Try to be as quick as I can. I wrote something down, but I didn't realize very quickly I'm not going to use that, so we'll just go off the top. What an honor to be, in the inductee class with so many people that influenced my ability to be here. Coach Foster, Coach Thomas, what an honor. Full circle moment for me. I live in New York now, so it's amazing to get back to the South and see wonderful people that kind of made me who I am today. When I got to North Hall running, it wasn't, the top of the list of things that you would choose or want to be a part of. I owe my family, so much credit. My grandmother's here. Most people that have been living in the news some time probably know Cat Long. And then Mickey Long, my grandfather, who unfortunately is not able to be here, but I think every day how much support he provided. Went to every meet, whether it was California, Notre Dame, I don't care where it was, college, middle school, high school, he was always there. Wes Wesley was here. I just knew how to win at running before I met Coach Wesley, but I did not know much about running or why I was good at it and the potential I have with it. So thank you so much for everything you gave me and still the value I have for you today. I was introduced to 3 people at North Hall who aren't here. Grant Russell, Johnny Jimenez, and Bert Harrison. I met these 3 individuals at my locker when I was a freshman in high school. And they asked me to come out and run a time trial. I played basketball, I played football. Running for me was a foreign thing. But what I did know is all I wanted once I got into that race was just not to lose, right? That was kind of how I got to the point where I was. The rest is history. The value that I got from the friendship, what they taught me, the friendship that we have today. We were at running camp at Unicoi State Park, which is where we would go train, very hilly terrain. So many memories. A lot of it was running, a lot of it was just being silly and having memories there. But it was there was a documentary. It's called Break Their Will. And in running, if you pass someone, you break their will. So you get past a race when you're to the point of exhaustion, when someone passes you, it's tough to feel a follow up back from that. Still to this day, with those individuals, we have a group text called Break Your Road, right? And it just points back to the value and the friendships you gain. It's always more than the sport you play. It's always more than the ball you throw or the shoes that you put on when you go into the field or the track. You can't take those small moments enough when they happen to you. Always. So thank you so much, Coach Ward, everybody. It's amazing to be back, and Coach Trojans.
All right, Vincent Big Long, beautiful. All right, our next inductee, very excited to present to you all Coach Trent Monjero. Come on, Coach. Coach Monjero in 2017 led North Hall High School to the state championship, an incredible moment for our school. In 2017, he was named the National High School Baseball Coach of the Year, two-time Georgia Coach of the Year. He ranks in the top 50 in the history of Georgia high school baseball with 409 wins. Coached in 3 state championships, winning 2 state titles. He's the winningest baseball coach in North Hall school history with 231 wins on the diamond. He played for 2 state championships during his tenure at North Hall High School. Also as a player, he's a member of the George Whitfield Hall of Fame, 1989 Conference Player of the Year at UNC Wilmington as a shortstop, member of the UNC Wilmington All-Decade Team, and also played for a season in the Atlanta Braves system. Again, these bios don't cover everything that Coach Monjero did to North Hall and the legacy that Coach Flo is trying to continue to try to live up to what Coach Monjero has done for North Hall baseball. Coach Monjero.
All right, as baseball coaches, we don't know much about the clock, but you can put me on a pitch count for this. I'm going to keep it real short and get us back on track. First, I just want to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for this opportunity and for bringing my family to North Hall. We were 2 states away in the state of North Carolina with no intentions of going anywhere. And 1 visit down to Harold Daniels, and that all changed. So, man's got a lot of power, but this school is unbelievable. I'm going to get into some of that in a minute. But before, I wanted to thank my wife for believing in our calling to this school and investing in the years of building this program and the tremendous support that we have in this community. That's a common theme that you hear in these talks. And as a very humble acceptance of this award, I just want to tell you that it is unbelievable the amount of support that I received and we received on the baseball field, on the community, from our administration, everybody. It was just absolutely unheard of. And when I try to explain to people that are not from here what it's like to be here and the type of support, they really can't comprehend, just how great it is to be a North Hall Trojan and the support that we get. I did want to talk a little bit about the booster club that we had, the dugout club. My dugout club presidents, all the parents and families working selflessly to help build the program and, just supported us in every single way. My assistant coaches, years and years of coaches, just like Bob said, guys of character that were in it for the kids. Really that's what it's all about. But I want to take this back to a couple of people from my perspective. Bob Christmas and Harold Daniels, if it wasn't for those 2 men, I don't believe that my family would have ended up down here. Of course, God first, but he led me to these guys. I believed in the vision that they were painting, and Bob supported me, and I supported him, as well as the other coaches. And I just think that's the way an athletic department ought to be, and I'm just very proud to have been a part of this. It was a tough build at the get-go. I'll finish with this. It's a very tough build in this program to get the culture where I felt like we needed to be from the baseball side. But once we got it rolling, it's still rolling to this very day. And I feel very proud now that I live back in North Carolina Just watching Coach Flo and the Trojans kick tail out of that amazing baseball complex out there. The facilities here, like Division I caliber. So we love this community. Thank you for a great night. Feel unbelievably honored. And go Trojans.
Awesome. Coach Manjero, amazing moment, special moment. All right, we'd love to introduce to you now our new inductee, and that's Coach Danny Thomas. Coach Thomas, 33 and a half years as teacher and coach at Buckall High School. 11 years assistant football, 7 years head baseball. 2005, he was inducted to the Maryville College Athletics Hall of Fame. 4-year letterman here in football and baseball, 1977. He was North Hall baseball team MVP. 1978, captain of the football team. 1972, he was an all-state punter. 1970, and if you picking up on things, in 1972, we punted the ball a few times. And he was an all-state punter. He was a very important part of that team, Coach Daniels. Another name that just kept coming up as an amazing impact that you can't explain it in a bio. 33 and a half years of teaching and coaching in the same school, an incredible impact and influence on North Hall. Coach Danny Thomas.
Nobody's ever accused me of being a dynamic speaker, so I'm not going to start tonight. Something about holding this microphone. It's got me all jittery. Sam, you hold this for me? And I have to say, Brian, most of my records were broken in 2 or 3 years. You still hold the record all that time. It's something. Okay, thanks to the selection committee. It's a huge honor. I'm a North Hall guy, North Hall boy, been here most of my life. As he mentioned, 33 and a half years teaching. I went to school here for 4 years, so I've been here 37 and a half years. That's over half my life. I love this school. I'll always be a Trojan, as Carol says, go Trojans. During that 37 and a half years, I either played ball with, coached with, taught or coached 10 of the other 11 inductees. So, I've been around a lot of special people, and you keep hearing that word tonight over and over, special. This place is special, and North Hall has always been special. It's a special place, special community, special school, special kids, special teachers, and we're blessed to be a part of it. There's also some other special people here tonight that I would like to mention. My parents who are both here tonight. Thanks for your love, support, and sacrifice throughout all the years and throughout all the hundreds or thousands or however many practices, ball games, and all that it was. My wife, Pam, who was always our biggest fan. She's always such a positive person and a positive influence on me and everybody else. My sister Janet is also here. Her summer vacations weren't spent at the beach like most other kids. They were spent at the ballpark. And she hasn't forgiven me yet for that. Both my daughter and son graduated from North Hall. Danny Beth and her husband Jeremy are here tonight. Love y'all. Thanks for coming. Some of you know that Andy was in a serious car wreck back on June 22nd. Touch and go there for a while. After 40 days in trauma ICU, 3 back surgeries, and another 5 days in the hospital, we hope that he is finally on his way to recovery. There are several North Hall coaches that I would like to mention. Back in the early days, you couldn't convince some of the fans, but North Hall has always had good coaches.
as witnessed by this group that's here tonight, but the North Hall football coaches and basketball and baseball coaches that I would like to recognize. Henry Loggins is here. Henry coached me in the 8th grade in basketball and football. Jerry Carter coached me in basketball and football. At North Hall, E.G. Taylor, John Corley, Ken Adams, that we've already heard about Jerry Davis tonight. Head coaches that I worked with who taught me so much about coaching. Joe Caldwell, Lee Kaufenbach, Jerry Bowers, Jim Lofton. I think they probably all of them have passed now, but they were wonderful mentors. And also Gene Foster and Kenny Child, believe it or not, I coach soccer through here. So I'm extremely honored to be awarded this honor, and I thank you.
Great job. Coach Danny Thomas. Very excited now to introduce to you our next inductee, and that's Coach Paul White. Coach White is the flag coach. 1984 to 1996, the first stint here as our head wrestling coach. In that time period, he had a dual meet record of 177, 25, and 4. 10 Hart County championships, 23 individual state placers in that time period, 7-time All-Area Coach of the Year. He came back to us 2017 to 2021 as one of our assistant coaches on a fantastic staff. And in that time period, had 43 state place winners, 2-time team dual state champions. Also spent 10 years as North Hall Middle School's football coach, as a leader in the belief of multi-sport athlete. This Hall of Fame is not his first. He's for a long time, since 2007, been in the Hall of Fame of the National Wrestling, the Georgia chapter of that group, and in 2015 won the NWCA Don Gable Award, a very prestigious award presented at NCAA Division I wrestling tournament. We all know that bio doesn't cover what Coach White is still today to North Hall High School. Very excited to hear from him, Coach Paul White.
First off, I'd like to just introduce my son, his new bride, PJ. Let your hand there, PJ. And my grandson, darling, my Maggie. Raise your hand. Hey, you may not know it, but tonight we have the wrestling dynasty here. We have some of the greatest people in wrestling, not only in the state, but in the United States. We've got Bud Henneball, who's a National Hall of Fame, NWCA Hall of Famer. Raise your hand, Bud. Right there. We got Randy Bortles, who's a 2-time Hall of Famer. He's in Georgia and the National, right there. And most people think that I started wrestling at North Hall. They really do. They think I'm that old. That's not true. The guy who started, I didn't even know him. He was here before I got here. Rex Wells from North Carolina. Rex, raise your hand. I don't know how old Rex is, but I know there is. He taught school with Gene Foster Holslaw. So he's been around a lot. And those guys are all Hall of Famers. We also have the Southeastern Regional Coach of the Year. That's 8 states. He's a coach here now, one of my former wrestlers, nationally known, Pat Holcomb. Pat, raise your hand. So we've got the elite wrestling coaches that came out tonight. I'm honored for them to be here. The rest of the honorees, Dan Beaton, I have coached or taught with 8 out of the 12. that we have here tonight. So I was very lucky to have done that. So that's a great thing there. The coaches that helped me out got here, and Jerry Bowers was the athletic director, and Jerry was absolutely terrific with helping our wrestling program get started. Jerry would dress up in a tuxedo and was the ring announcer. If you can believe that. It was quite a show. He even did it at the state tournament. He did it so well here, they had him come do it. Thank D.D. Taylor, who hired me here, took a chance on me. And also Jim Lofton was the head coach, athletic director here. And Jim was by far the best athletic director I've ever been around with. I didn't work for Harold, but I did work for Jim. And Jim and I became so close that I was asked to do his eulogy when he passed away. He said, "Paul, would you do my eulogy?" And I said, "I'd be glad to do that with 2 or 3 other people." And I said, "As long as, if I go first, will you do mine?" And he said, "Would." So I did his eulogy. He didn't tell me that Vince Dooley would be sitting on the front row when I did it. So they were teammates. That was something. But Coach Lofton was very instrumental in all the success we had when I was here. And I appreciate it very much. If you wrestle for me, will you stand up, please? You're the reason. Okay? I hope you know that. You know, there's something about wrestlers. They're different. They're not normal. I don't care what you say. You play football. You play basketball. You play golf. You don't play wrestling. You just wrestle. And that's what those guys are. That's what those guys do. Okay? So thank you for coming out tonight. And I appreciate it very much. I was asked to leave about the same time Jim Lofton was. We had administration that didn't think Jim Lofton knew what was going on in football, so he left. And they said it was time for me to leave also. So I left and went some other places. And I never thought I'd be back. I thought that was it. But I was lucky that when I retired and wanted to keep coaching, they asked me back. And the people that asked me to come back were Matt Whitmire, who has meant more to this wrestling program than anybody combined. Matt has built the program. That's the reason that we've had a championship program over the years. Matt, when he was wrestling for me, lost a match in the semifinals that if he would won, we would have won the state tournament. And he's been paying us back ever since. He felt so bad about it. He has repaid that 100 times. And Matt, you can stop now. The debt is over. You did a terrific job. The coaches that let me help, I want to say their names because they didn't mind the old coach looking over their shoulder, and they let me. It's like 360. It came all around. I left, but I came back. And the people that kind of didn't want us to be here, I think about it, now they'll have to think I'm going to be on the wall. I won't be here forever. Matt Whitmire was instrumental in bringing her back. Stuart Cunningham, David Nichols, and Wesley Adams. So, appreciate everything. Thank y'all for coming out tonight, and I guess we better head on to the game. Thank you very much.
Coach Paul White. What a beautiful evening. And it's obviously not 7:05, but this was more important. Your moment for us was more important than that on-field moment. So in closing, I just want to let you all know how amazing and how humble and grateful we feel, how much love we feel in the room. We will try to get, that's like an app. Let's just flag it. It's not gonna happen. They're gonna play football without us, aren't they? They're gonna play football without us. We would love to invite all of you to come watch football tonight if you can. And we have kind of advertised that a lot of these legends will be in our tailgate porch during the first half. So if you can't make it, we understand. But if you can, there are a lot of North Hall faithful out there that are wearing green and white that either they couldn't maybe make it to the dinner, but they would love to hug your neck, take a picture with you, get your autograph. So if you're able, we would love for you to come to the game. And go out to that beautiful main field house that we talked about and hang out on the tailgate porch so that we can love on you a little bit more. In closing, we'd love for you, it might be a little awkward, but I want you to look at one person, maybe 2 or 3 around you, and just say the words, I love you. Go ahead. I want you to go ahead and try it. I love you. I love you. I love you. Well, thank y'all for coming out. One more round of applause for the Hall of Fame. And go Trojans!